That's better. That was a weird song. Hey everybody, gonna start soon. Let's get some people in the chat room. What's up, Richard? What's up, Dustin? Welcome. Happy to have you here. What's up, Erland? Alexander, Brad, Paul. What's up, Paul? What up, Bud? Hey, Robert. Good evening to you as well. What's going on with Bitcoin, huh? Give it a couple more seconds here. Get some more peeps in the house. Thanks for being here, guys. Hope you had a good Saturday. Hope you're able to get outside. Enjoy the summer. God, the summer is flying by so fast. Like, July is almost over. Are you kidding me? It's gonna be in August, and August always flies by. Yeah, but the volume is low. The volume is low. It's a little suspect. It's a little suspect. All right, guys. Let's turn the music down here. Yeah, it's a little bit, Richard. A little bit, trying to keep it light here. Hey, Brett. Yeah, we can definitely take a look at Link a little bit. Not a problem. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. This is Big Chonis. Remember, you guys can find me on Twitter. I'm at Big Chonis. It's my best ideas. I take technical analysis very seriously. I'm a trader, an investor, a mentor, a gardener, a photographer, and a chef. Do your own research, guys. I'm not an expert. Every trader has to create their own style that they need to discover for themselves and determine the risk profile that works best for them and their long-term goals. I'm not a financial analyst. I cannot advise you as to where you should put your money, what the next 1000x coin will be, when the bottom is in, when the top is in. Only you can determine your own financial choices. With that, let's look at Bitcoin here. Now, let's take a look at the daily here, because we ended the day and then we started the day, which was like an hour and a half ago, with a kind of a quick drop in the price of Bitcoin, and we've recovered very nicely here. So let's zoom in here to our 1 hour chart, and we can clearly see that we had this really nasty wick right here. We came as low as here, and we actually found support on, look at this here. This is our new bear channel within our overall bull channel. And let me just hide my cloud for now. We'll touch base on the cloud in a moment here. So look at that. Dead tick right on our middle channel support. So our bear channel inside our overall bull channel is still holding. We got rejected right here by a wick at 74.60. So other than these couple wicks here, and especially our really nasty one we had a couple days ago, or yesterday actually, we are still being held down by this trend resistance line right here. And we're being supported by our middle channel support line right here. Now our bottom channel support, which has been tested here, we broke it actually a couple of wicks here, but again, the 1 hour, we've not closed below this bottom line. And look at this as a great sense here of confirmation here, where we had 2 wicks that broke, but neither one was able to close below our support line. So this line here is very solid, but our top line here is also equally solid as well. So this is our overall, this is our current bear channel. We'll zoom out to our 4 hour. And you see how we're in our overall bull channel here. Now, we clearly had an inverse head and shoulders a couple days back. Why am I unable to see? Let's clear this up a bit. There we go. Head, left shoulder, right shoulder. So we had our inverse head and shoulders. We broke bullish. Now we're waiting for the completion still of this inverse head and shoulders. And the way you basically want to figure that price range from the very nut, remember this is an inverse, so our nut bottom head to our neckline, which is a little subjective, but I would say it's right around 68.40. More or less, we're up $1,000 from our bottom head to our neckline. Now, if we can, impose that, if I can grab it, there we go, going up from our neckline break to a full extension, that puts us right here at 78, let's call it 79. I like round numbers. So let's call it 79 even. So this is our inverse head and shoulder price target to complete this pattern. And you see that, we got as high as 76.87, but we're not there yet. So the bull case still remains to touch a little bit under $8,000. Now, the power of this bull move, you have to admit, has been pretty impressive. A lot of people have been expecting this retrace for several days to either touch our lower support or this neckline support, resistance turn support. And we're just going, sideways slowly. This is clearly still in a bull flag pattern here. This is still a bullish pattern, even though I have this in red here because we're still falling. We're still putting in lower highs, but we're also still putting in higher lows here where we were able to actually, I take that back. The candle close, no, I take that back as well. We put in a lower low here. So this is notable. We put in a low here of 73.12, and then our candle body was 72.77. So our last swing low had put in a lower low. So if we're unable to break, let's say above 7,500 even, okay, then I'd be looking for a higher low than where we had bottomed previously here under 70, let's 72.50. So a good place to be that is right here, potentially where we just bottomed here as the daily candle turned in. We'll make it a little stronger there. So we can see, there we go. So we can see we have our low, and now we have a higher low confirmed. But until we can put in a higher high, which is really breaking, again, $7,500, then we can talk about retesting once again our upper support line here that has acted as such strong resistance for such a long time. Other than the wicks here. And again, these wicks here are very tough to trade. These are FOMO wicks. You break through this here and you think, oh, okay, we're basically breaking bullish here. But we're just unable to close above. So every buy up here, every long buy, I should say, up here has been a losing trade, and every short take up here has been so far a pretty winning trade. So let's look at some other indicators here. Now, again, we're on the 4 hour. This was our old bull channel. We broke it. We tested it. We were unable to get back into it. Now we have this line here of support. Now look at, I pull this down to get close to this test, hold, test, hold, test, hold. And once again, we're right there. We broke it, but we kind of held it. We tested it, and now we're above. So we're still bullish. This is still a bullish RSI because we have held above our previous, our overall support line here is still holding the RSI price. So that's still important here. If we break this line here with conviction and then retest it and find it as a strong resistance, and that's another sign that the bulls are losing steam there. Let's look at our stochastics. So this is interesting. Remember, we were here a few days ago. We saw a slight bull tick, cross bullish, but it was a fake out. And then we came back down and we bottomed out. And now we're climbing once again, but we have just the hook of a potential bear cross here just starting. Remember, we had that back here when we crossed bearish and came back down to retest. So we have to see how this plays out. If our blue line crosses onto our red line there, that would be a bad sign and a bearish sign there. But currently, we're still on a bullish upturn and we have not crossed over yet. Our histogram has turned red, but you can clearly see the dive has lessened, and there is a chance, get my pen out here, that we could begin to start turning up something like that. But this is a lagging indicator here. Remember, our histogram is a lagging indicator here. So, you know, we don't want to go as low as here. We don't want to go into valleys as low as here, as low as here. We want to put in a setup where we can create our next bull move to be as strong or stronger than our previous green mountain here. You know, this was a very good sign. A shallower retracement will also be a very good bullish sign here if we can turn at a higher incline than our previous trench here on our histogram. So something to keep in mind. Let's go back to our daily and look at a higher time frame and get a sense of what we're looking at here. So this is our RSI here. And I'm just going to remove my channel for a moment here because the channel is pretty much over with. We've already kind of played that out here. So we have a clear resistance here. Let me just work on this line here for a second, kind of shorten up a little bit. That's better. So where is our resistance here? So we have it's subjective, but it's the daily. So we have something like that. We clearly have our support line. Again, something like this. It's okay to break it here because we shot back up very quickly. We retested it here and found support. So we have this kind of expansion here, this trombone, where we're tighter at the low and we're wider the higher we go. So a bearish case puts this support line on the daily RSI in play as a place you want to hold. We could also draw a channel from here to here. This was resistance. This was resistance. We broke bullish here, and now we want to find support on the top of this line here. This is another area where you'd expect to find support in the RSI. So we'll watch this for support if we get here. We'll watch this for a backup, and we'll watch this line here for a bull break and where the RSI could possibly stall out once again if we do turn bullish without touching lower supports here. We'll do a quick look of shorts and longs, and then we'll get right to the chat room. Bitcoin longs, I mean, just very little movement here, very little conviction. We're still trapped in this bubble here. Triple top. We're in our channel, as you can see. We do have a bull cross on our daily our daily stochastics RSI. So we have a bull cross in progress. So that's good. If our blue line peters out, that'd be bad. But if it keeps rocketing higher, that would add a little more bullishness into the market. We had a decent hammer on the longs yesterday. They did load up some. They are continuing to load up right now, but we'll see how they touch this resistance of our arc, if they can even get up this high here, and overall trend support of our middle channel support. Let's take a look at shorts here. Oops, get rid of my squiggly line here from yesterday. And yeah, so listen, we've found a double support here. I love, actually, this is the daily. Look at this nice tweezer. Let me hide our indicators here. Look at this gorgeous tweezer bottom here on our shorts. Strong support here where shorts were capitulating, boom, 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 and they found a firm backstop here. And now I would not say they're loading yet, but this is beginning to set up potentially for a short loading as we kind of have a nice tightening bodies. This is daily here. So it's very tight. This is even tighter here. So everything is very tight right now. A lot of indecision. Shorts, longs are not really loading up bullishly, and shorts are not really loading up bearishly either. But from a trend standpoint, we have held here, and our next support resistance is this line here that we probably might bounce around in and maybe even create some sort of a wedge. So quick check here in our chat room. What's up, Maximilian? Cloud resistance. Yeah, Dustin, sorry, Justin, let's take a look at the cloud. I, there's so many indicators you can use. I like using a lot of them. Um, this is a great tip here. Have multiple Bitcoin charts on your trading view. You should all be on TradingView. You should all pay the $30 a month to get at least to Pro, so you can have at least more than 3 or 4 indicators. It's totally worth it. And you should have several Bitcoin charts on your frequently used charts here. So I'm not using them in terms of trying to find arbitrage between, Bitfinex and Coinbase. I'm using them in terms of showing different examples of certain charts here. So I have my channel chart here. I have a little more of an overall resistance chart here. And then my third, oh, that's my Bitcoin Cash one. Where's my other one here? One, two. Oh yeah, this is my pitchfork chart. This is actually one that I put out earlier in the day. Let's make this pitchfork a little easier to view. Oops, that's a little not easy there. That's a little better there. And why is my middle gone? I want to really highlight my middle here. So that's the 0.5, right? Yep, there we go. And then the 2.5 of that, we're going to make orange, and then the one we're going to make red. There we go. Cool. Okay. So this is a great example here. Now, when you're drawing a pitchfork, you need a defined bottom, a defined top, and a defined anchor. Okay. You can't have this line just like hanging in the middle of nowhere. You can't have this line just like out in the middle of nowhere. These have to be defined areas here. Now, so this is our top here, 11.7. This is our bottom here at 58. This was on our V bottom. And we're using our anchor as our super wick here right at 9,000. And we clearly see how the pitchfork is showing a tightening here, right? Clearly we're tightening. With this falling wedge still, very clear, right? But we are also range bound between these channels and then our outer channels and then our super outer channel boundaries up and low. Boundaries were touched here. Bottom boundary was touched here. Remember, our bottom boundary on our pitchfork here has not been touched yet since our actual place here we actually set our bottom anchor. So a bear break, and now we're talking about our actual lows here, even running down our yellow bear channel here. So I like to use the pitchfork mostly on larger time frames to get a larger kind of time frame sense there. Oh yeah, cloud. So let's go back to our cloud here. Now I put a tweet out earlier. Let's pull our Ichimoku cloud up. What the heck? Hello. There we go. Okay, we just had to think there. All right, so this is great. I love it when a cloud shows what's going on here. Now, notice my indicators here, 20, 60, 120, and 30. These are not the defaults. These are actually used. It's kind of a combination of accounting for a 24/7 Bitcoin price action versus a cloud that you would use for like the stock market, like the Dow or the Nasdaq, which basically is Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 4 p.m. Except major holidays as well. So I'm using a differential 20, 60, 120, 30 variances on my Ichimoku. And what we're seeing here, oh, this is great. So we're entering the cloud, ever so slightly entering the cloud. But we have a bearish TK cross right here, where the Kaijin has crossed bearishly on the Tenkin. So basically what I'm saying here is our red has crossed down into our blue. If our blue had crossed up into our red in a movement, I would have called that bullish. But we have contradictions here where we're in the cloud currently on the candle. Now, we've been in the cloud before, here, but we could not close in the cloud. So is this the day where we can actually close in the cloud? Remember, this other red line here is very important, and I want to just hide the cloud here for just a moment. When a major support here, here, and here is broken, we tend to test it as a back test, which is exactly what we're doing right now. And this line is firm, okay? Just a wick, strong rejection, FOMO wick, bearish, okay? So this is a nasty rejection line here. So best case, we come back up, we test it again, we break bullishly, and we close above it. The daily close above it would be great. You know, a 6 hour would be good as well. Even a 4 hour, I take a 4 hour. But we have not even come close to closing into it. You know, did we have a 30-minute? Not even a 30-minute. Let me go back to auto here. We must have had like a 5-minute, right? Yeah, right there. Nah, we didn't even close into it. Yeah, we did. Right there. Okay, so the 5-minute, did the 15 close in there? Nope. See, even the 15-minute cannot close above this red line here. So this is a nasty rejection line that is held very strong, which means a break and hold above would be a very bullish sign and something to watch for. We break this line and we hold above, that's very bullish. That means a hold of 78 could clearly put, 8 in play, 8K in play. But until then, no dice yet. Not yet. So we'll keep an eye on that. Back to the chat room here. Hey, Carl. What's up, buddy? I like seeing you on Twitter. Just me LTC to hit 400 soon. Wouldn't that be great? How many of you sold LTC when it was at $400, right? Those were the days, and those will be the days once again, right? When Litecoin goes to 400 and Bitcoin, wow, if Litecoin back to 400, Bitcoin to what, like 35,000? That'd be nice. I'll take that. Maximilian, good evening, my buddy. Obi Philwan, they say 26 was for moon cycles. I don't know what that means. So if you guys have any chart requests, any alts you want me to look at, now is the time to request them in the chat room there. We can definitely look at some of those. We've been also tracking our Coinbase toddlers that have been invited to the Cool Kids table. We have XLM, we have ZRX, we have Basic Attention Token, we have Cardano or ADA, and we have, of course, Ethereum Classic, and we have Zcash. And they all have had very different reactions. They've all had the kind of initial pop, and then some have broken bullish, and some have not. Like Zcash, I mean, this was Coinbase pump, and it literally gave it back over 100%, But we had our ZRX here. This was our Coinbase pump, but we only retraced here. Boom, Fibbit, boom it, Fibbit. Whoops. I always do that. I always do it backwards. So we retraced, oops, from here. We retraced a little over the 618, right? Yeah, but not quite to the 786 fib level on that retrace there. So ZRX is much more bullish, obviously, right, than some of our other ones there. Now, from an extension standpoint here, we do see, if we're calling this kind of our wave one here, we see initially we topped out right at our 2618 extension line here, and we've come all the way back. And basically, let's see here, if this was our wave four, wait, 1, 2, 3, right, so this was our extension, which would be here. So look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, I love that. I love that. So look at that. We found support. So this was our extension. And then we found support at the 236 of our extension. And we ran it all the way up to the penny, or the Satoshi, excuse me, to the 1618. Isn't that crazy? How these lines here are to the penny? Okay, so now we've broken down below the 236, and we're holding above the 1 even area here. So this is a great way where the fib extension can help you set your buy orders and your expectations for some of your sell orders there. So, what's up, Kenneth? We'll do some Ethereum Classic. So once again here, let's go out. No, I guess this is pretty good, the 6 hour here. So this is a triangle I did many weeks ago. Right here, this crazy green candle here, this was our Coinbase announcement. We came up. Yeah, I did it again. God darn it. Came up. We retraced. Exactly 618%. Love that. We bounced hard from that, right? Can we even do an extension on this here? Are we even that crazy to do an extension to the, wait, where am I here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we even went as high as the 5. Yeah, see, this is tricky because if this is wave 1, yeah, wave 1, 2, did we go lower than there? I don't think we did, so that makes sense. 3, and then this is our bottom 4. So which fib did we even get to? Did we go? Wow, we went really high there, didn't we? So is that, let's take a peek here. Let's see if we can add some fibs and figure out where we actually topped off there. Let's see here. So we'll do 5.236. Nope. And how about 6236? 7, so that must have been 7, 8, 9. Probably too high there. Okay. So we're still correcting from that. And listen, we have broken back into our strong resistance, turned support here, and now broken back into it. We back tested it, rejection, crap, and now we've fallen pretty deeper back into it here. So listen, we could be talking about another test of our lower support line here, which we tested down here and is rising up. So this yellow line here is still our solid support here. We also have, I'm on the 6 hour here, that's fine. Oversold bounce, but look at this. We have a lower low in our RSI. Like, yikes. We have a bearish cross on our 6 hour. We have a bearish cross on our 4 hours. So we're still finding weakness in Ethereum Classic. If we get down here to this line, like 20,000, if we break 20 or 200, if we break 200,000 Satoshi, something in this line here, this could be an interesting loading zone to see how a bounce could respond to another retest here of our rejection line. So keep that in line. EOS, Erland, what's up, Erland? Thanks for joining the chat tonight. Where is my EOS? So we'll do EOS 2 ways, right? We'll do EOS BTC, and then we'll do EOS USD. So EOS BTC, this is my pitchfork. We're anchored here at our nut top of our second rejection bull move, and we see that we're in this channel. We broke bullish for just a day, just a 4 hour, and now we were firmly rejected. Am I happy with this channel here? Let me see if I can make this. Hold on, let me get rid of this guy. So nut top, yeah, there we go. Nut bottom, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. Look at that, just a wick broke, just a FOMO wick, strong rejection. We're coming down here, but not as low yet. We haven't tested our mean support yet, our middle pitchfork overall support, which over here we tested it, we broke it, bounced around, and once we broke bullish from it, that was a good bull move. But this line here in our pitchfork has been super solid. Let's put you in the back, right? Super solid. So once again, until we can get through this line on our pitchfork, then we can start talking about outer lines. Until we can break that, Ned, good. Now look at, we could find support here again on our middle channel support. That'd be our best case. And this is our overall support line here, right there, our orange line, support, support, tested, held deliciously. So if we retest our overall support time, that's a good area here to expect it to hold. I wonder if that will coincide as well with one of our channels. So we'll keep that in mind. Maximilian, what's up, buddy? Let's do some. Oh, wait, I was going to do, before we go to that, let's do a USD EOS. Yeah, this was a tweet I put out earlier in the day where could be an inverse head and shoulders setting up here on the USD EOS. And look at that. We're just beginning our right shoulder here. Not yet, okay? So potentially a test of our support at around $6.75 USD. Could be a bottoming area here if we fail to bounce here. And then another test potentially of our neckline at around $9.30. And if this broke bullish, you'd want to see a full run of 30% from our neckline break. And then from our overall bottom here of our right shoulder, it's a 75% move, okay? So that's a great bullish scenario if that does happen. That's only incumbent, right, on this line here. Let's make it a little bit wider. Continuing to act as firm support. If we break this line here, then our inverse head and shoulders is out of commission. It's not going to happen. And we would start traveling lower, and that'd be bearish. So that's EOS. Yeah, let's do some ADA. And what do we see here? What do we see here? So this is our 4 hour. So, all right, this is our low. This is our higher low. Not sure what that line's for. We'll get back to that in a minute. Let's draw another trend support. We're ignoring the wicks here and just going for bodies. So let's make this green here. So we have our low, we have our higher low, and currently we have our higher low here, holding here. So this is good. This right here, go a little higher. I'll go even a little higher, right there. Yeah, like 33, 23, 40. This is our rejection area here. So we're range bound in here. Uptick on the RSI. Are we putting in a trend line here? Let's map it out. Yeah, we are. Right? Here, not as low. Touch, not as low. So this is our bull trend line here that we want to keep holding. Oops. And on our 4 hour stochastics, we're still breaking bullish. So there's still bullish tendencies here. This is a quick 4 hour candle here. We've only been on this 4 hour candle for 2 hours, and that's very bullish there. So we're still holding these higher lows here, but here's what's a little suspect here is we're halfway through this candle. Look at this volume here. Volume's weak. Didn't take a lot of money here, right here. Did not take a lot of money to push this candle almost 4%. So that's kind of interesting here, is that there aren't a lot of sellers, and a little bit of buying pressure can push the price high here. So we'll keep an eye on that. It basically shows it's a very choppiness market there. It's not, a large dump could really affect this. But right now, we keep holding this higher low, and we're looking pretty good there. Okay, let's take a couple more here in the chat. Once again, guys, thanks so much for joining me tonight. Let's take a peek here. ICX. What's up, Alexander? So ICX. There we go, ICX. So, interesting. So we have a couple marks here from previous charts. So, okay, this is the 4 hour. Let me hide my volume for a moment here. Support found, support found, support found, support broken. We had a retest. Interesting. This is kind of similar to kind of Bitcoin's doing right now, right? We had our break of our support. We had our retest. We had a rejection. Then we had a bullish break, right? For a quick couple hours there, about eight hours. Then we quickly fell back in a full capitulation to definitely lower lows here. So are we finding a bottoming area here? Let's go just to a firmer, wider chart here. So our daily, okay, we have a slight V bottom forming in our RSI. We bottom at 23, super low. We put in a lower low here on our RSI. Remember, the RSI can bottom and then put in a higher low, but the price can still put in a lower low. So just because the RSI bottoms does not mean the price has bottoms. We do have a bullish uptick cross in our daily stochastics, so that's good. And we see how our peaks here are getting smaller, right? Red, sure, but we're getting smaller here. So we're finding bullish intentions, mostly due to technically oversold prices here. The fact that we did break through this area here is kind of disheartening after we were able to break above. So, a bull case, a really bull case, would be we'd want to retest this line here, which would be great, right? Come all the way back up and retest this line here as support or as resistance. That's like 100% move there. So we're not even talking about that yet. We are finding some bullish tendencies. This is bottom feeding here. This is bottom feeding on a chart that has been basically been killed, right? No reprieve since our parabolic move, our top, clear example of where taking profit or profit is due is very worthwhile here on this one here. Let's see what else we got here. We did AO, we did XOC, XRP, and NEO. So we'll do some long range crypto wants to do some Ripple. Okay. XRP. So, yeah, we're finding this area. I actually had this debate with Cheds about an hour ago about where a good stop loss would be on this move here. So we broke 6,000 Satoshi. Best case, we want to get back up into this area here of 7,000. So we were having this debate, would you risk 4% to make 14% on a 3-to-1 ratio? It's decent, right? We have these wicks here on the 4 hour. It's decent. Our RSI was in the crapper. 10 on the 4 hour. Good God. 10, 10. Look at that. Look at that. Double bottom RSI to a T, right? So we just found historic support on the 4 hour RSI on our friend Ripple here, right? So that's encouraging. We do have an uptick here in our histogram, but our 4 hour, we have a bear cross. We have a bear cross on our 4 hour stochastics. We go out to our daily here. And similarly, we had our RSI bottom at 17 and put in a lower low than our bottom here at 18. So yeah, we're in historical low, Helms deep, right? But we have a bull cross here again on our stochastics. So we're seeing some holding of the 6,000 range here of Ripple. So we'll keep an eye on that. NEO. Let's do some NEO. What's up, Brad? Thanks for joining the show tonight. Where are you, NEO? There we are, NEO. Nope, that's NEOS. Woohoo, that's confusing. NEO, there we go. Okay, so interesting. So this is our daily. Now notice we are putting in a lower high. This is bearish. This is still very bad here. But we have this area here of some price history chop back in November. So I would expect to hold this range here no lower than 37.50 area, and we really got to break out of 47 to start putting in some sort of an uptrend. Our daily RSI has put in a higher low, okay? So this is going to be read two ways. We have a higher low in our RSI. We have a lower low in our price. So some would call that bullish divergence. However, the higher our RSI goes without our price really rising in tandem allows our RSI to top off before our price can really have its full run. So it kind of is a double-edged sword in something like this. And we clearly see a bullish cross here in our stochastics as well. So we're seeing a little bottom support. I like the body in this. We have a little hammer going into this day. Again, the day just started here. Let's take a look at a lower time frame here. Yeah, look at that. Let's keep putting in this ever so slight uptrend here, right? Don't break this. Don't break 4,400 Satoshi. Because if we break this area again, you know, Helm's Deep, right? But let's kind of channel here. Okay, let's rise this wedge and let's break bullish, and then we can let our RSI run to next area of resistance, which is probably, I mean, here we were rejected here. So if we break 42 on the 4-hour on the RSI and hold it as support, that would be bullish continuation. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's see here. Richard says BTC on the rise. So let's go back to Bitcoin, guys. Take a peek. Look at that. So let's go. Which one do we want to do? Let's keep our consistent heat here. So we have once again broken through our bear channel. Remember, we broke it here, but we couldn't hold on a wick. Now we're breaking again on the 4-hour. We still have 2 more hours to go. Let's go to the hourly. And aha. So for the first hour, we have broken and closed above our resistance channel here. So that is interesting. That is definitely bullish and notable on this low time frame, meaning the hourly. So our RSI is trending up slightly, and we still have another turn bullish in our stochastics. Now on the daily, we've been up here for 21, 22. So we've been up here for a decent amount of time on our daily stochastics. You know, here 21, 22. So yeah, maximum we're up here for like 2 days, maximum. And we're basically going into day 2 right now. So at some point, historically speaking, this blue line will fold back over again, cross the red, and start a reset here. So the stochastics is saying we don't have a lot of time left up here. However, our overall chart is saying we've broken and closed above our line here, but I want to see a close on the 4-hour. I want to see this candle, which we have 2 more hours to go, close above, right? And then close above this yellow line here, which from a candle body standpoint, at 7,500, remember we mentioned that early in the broadcast, you break 7,500, and then you're talking. Now, Kyle, great question. Let's look at our volume here. And you're right, our volume's kind of low. Even though we've been trending higher all day here, our volume has not been that, at least our bull volume has not been that crazy. We see what our bear volume can be like. Remember, this is a high volume candle, volume-wise, with a nasty bear wick. Here. So high volume candle, nasty bear wick, total bearish sell-off candle, super low volume bull candles, right? Price rises, low volume. So I agree, it's a little suspect, right? Where we were able to trend up with not this kind of organic growth of money flow. Speaking of money flow, let's take a quick look here at CoinMarketCap. Now, I have not refreshed this page since yesterday. So, yesterday we had 1,656 cryptocurrencies. Today we have the same amount. So that's good. No more added, right? We put in under 4 billion and we're trending under 4 billion again. So our volume is lower. Remember, our volume down here was under 3. That also signaled a lack of sellers. So low volume can signal a lack of selling. The fact that we have low volume and we're rising is still suspect, because we have lack of sellers, but we have lack of buyers, and we have a slow trickle up in price movement there. So again, kind of conflicting issues there, where our low volume has equaled higher prices. So something that's kind of a interesting thing there. Long range crypto, stock RSI BTC on weekly turning up. So we've been watching this on the weekly, and again, the higher your time frame, the more importance your indicators show. And we have a very bullish, okay, stochastics continuation here, rise up. Okay, that's continuing now. So we're seeing this bullishness, and it would take a pretty nasty red move here to make this blue line turn over. So we'll keep an eye on that. But you're right, that is bullish. That is still a bullish upturn. We have a bullish upturn as well in our RSI. Can we see any rejection areas from a trend line standpoint? Look at that, huh? Let's get rid of this guy. Let's get rid of this guy for just a moment, and we'll get rid of this guy for just a moment. Resistance, resistance, resistance. Are we going up here, people? I mean, can we touch this on the nose? Touch on the nose, touch the nose. Little underneath, little underneath. So this could suggest that the weekly RSI has a little more upward room here before it hits very strong resistance. So another indicator to keep an eye on here. Let's take a look here. What's up, Karna? Yeah, people keep telling me I sound like Seth Rogen. Maybe I should do I should do voiceovers for cartoons, right? Make those Seth Rogen bucks. Ven. Yeah, Patter, listen, Ven, I did a tweet on Ven yesterday because it had just gotten beaten up so severely. And here we go. And yeah, I mean, look at the RSI there. And I remember our 4-hour, and I remember our Bollingers. Bingo. So I put a tweet out last night, I think it was here, where we had found support in our lower BB. And I had said, watch if we can break our middle at test of our upper BB. And there it is. We're getting close here. 25. Yeah, we're getting very close here. Also, our stochastics turned bearish and then broke bullish again. And we see this a lot on the stochastics. We see either an up or a down, or we see kind of a continual crossover. And I think we're probably doing something like that up here now, where we can stay up here for some time while this uptrend continues. Now watch how it interacts if we can get up here to our upper BB. Even though they're very tight, oops, the BBs are tight right now, right? Spreading slightly. But when we get up here, I want to see a firm rejection. And I wouldn't be surprised if you see profit taking right in this 26,000 Satoshi if the bulls can push higher. And it looks pretty bullish. I like the money flow is good. I like this current 4-hour candle, looks good. You know, we've made up almost this wick here. Although this wick is kind of ominous, but we're holding support. I love that on the middle BB. So Ven's still bullish until we get up to our upper BB, and then we're going to see how bullish it really is. Kyle, word of warning for Ven, the coin will be deceased tomorrow. They are delisting and recreating to the brand new coin VET. Well, that's interesting information. Wow, okay, so we'll keep an eye on that and we'll see if that's the case. Volatility, right? People either liquidating or hard walleting or moving stuff around there, right? Let's see in the chat. Once again, guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. We're about 50 minutes into our broadcast here. Let's definitely do at least an hour, right? All right, Saturday night. Any more requests here, guys? Any more altcoin requests? We can look at a couple more here. Let's take a look at Lumen, which is another one of our Coinbase invited to the cool kids table here. What kind of an extension are we continuing to put in here? Remember, we hit here. I'm going to hide my pitchfork here, and I'm going to hide my volume just to get a little better. Oops, I'm going to do this here. Situation here. So we hit our, was it our 381 right there? Yeah, we hit our 3681 beautifully on our extension. We came back and found support at our 1618 here of our original extension, which was, nope, I did it wrong again. Bottom up, swing low to swing high, guys, right? There we go. So that was that. 786 on the dot, right? Yeah, look at that. So we retraced 786 perfectly. And this is our another bull run here. Are we looking at 5 waves here? Can we even count 5 waves? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, maybe, right? On the 4-hour chart. Oops. There we go. Let me hide our BBs here. I mean, are we looking at 5 waves here? Oops. Right? 1, here's 2. 4 is higher than our 1 here, right? And how far can our 5th wave go? Well, let's do an extension and find out. So 4. So far our 5th wave has gone over the 0.5 but couldn't close against. So we see our best cases. We see our 100% back to our top candle, and then we see our further extensions that could take us a lot higher here. But this is a small impulse here, right? This is a bigger impulse. You can do a lot more with this candle than we can with this candle here. So it's hard to say how much more room this little push here can move. Let's see here. Thanks, Maximilian. Hey, Jane, how are you? Great fan. Thank you for having me. Wow, it's been a long day. Thank you for following me on Twitter. I always enjoy your likes. ETC USD. So we did ETC. Actually, we didn't do ETC USD. We did ETC BTC. So let's do ETC USD. I don't even have it here. So ETC USD. I guess we'll use. Binance. No, I guess we can use Bitfinex. That's fine. Okay, so this was our Coinbase pump, retrace up. We retraced lower, right? We really didn't. If this is our 1, 2 retrace, so I'll give you a really crazy bullish scenario here. I mean, if we're just saying this is our 1 complete with a full retrace here to 2, yep. So we're finding resistance on our 0.32 extension, right? Here's our 5, here's our 618, here's our 8, and then here's our 100% right there. So these are our best cases here. So our next target would be $16.75. then 17, 1740, 1780, 1850, and then $19, which coincides here with our previous nut top. What's our volume like right now? Mets and Mets. Now our RSI, look at that. This is our clear trend support on our RSI. And for a third time, we have found support, more or less, in this area here. So a bear break, I want to see this line hold again, right? And a bull break, I want to break above our neckline here. I want to break into the 40s here. And right now we're only in the low 40s. I want to break into the high 40s here. So that's our best bullish bearish scenario there. We do have a slight turn of our 4-hour stochastics. Let's go to a wider daily here. Stochastics is still bearish. And interesting, so where I put my resistance on our 4-hour, on our daily, you see we broken it and we're actually finding it currently as resistance. So our daily is bearish. Our daily chart is screaming. We are daily USD ETC USD chart is screaming bearish until we can break this line here. And a firm rejection would be another bearish signal there. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. Loom. Let's look at some Loom. Who wants Loom? Walter. Hey, good evening, Walter. Thank you for joining us tonight. Loom. Where are you? I know I've done Loom. There we are. Okay, so daily. So we have the chance of a stochastics turn slightly, but nothing yet, nothing convincing. Our RSI is kind of hanging in there. Remember, we have an area here of confluence, right? Resistance, broke it, couldn't hold it. Now we're finding support once again. So this is a very important line here. You break this line again, and we're going much lower. You hold this line, and the bulls can definitely have control. Ooh, I like this. So we're putting in, right? We're putting in a higher low at a 17% angle here, right? So that's bullish. I like that. Let's draw another resistance trend line here. So this is what we're currently watching here, is this triangle play out. We have a lower high, but we have a higher low. So our equilibrium is tightening, suggesting something bigger is going to happen. And our Bollingers are finding resistance in our middle, but support in our upper. So everything is suggesting very tight price movement. A Bitcoin bullish break and Loom could probably go with it. A Bitcoin bearish break and this line here. If we break below this daily and close below, if we break above this daily and close above, those would be the two things there I'd be looking at here. Is the exact angle relevant? Indicate no. The angle number of 17% is irrelevant, but I'm showing positive incline where I could show negative incline if we put in a lower high. So I do like using this sometimes to basically confirm my uptrend, as well as get a sense of the power of an uptrend. So you can see here how this line here, oops, was at a much stiffer angle of 56% until it broke bearish here. So the number percent is meaningless. I agree with that, except for how much power. But the fact that it shows an uptrend is kind of the importance of that. What else we got here? Yuan chain. Hey Scott, thanks for joining tonight. Let's look at some Yuan. There we go, Yuan BTC. So interesting. I had marked out an area here of some interesting price movements. Look at that. And we broke bearish from it, and now that's acting as resistance. Could have a bullish cross here on our stochastics. Look at that. Look at that pinch right there. This is the daily. So take another day to play out. But if you see a blue over the red, that'd be a bullish cross. RSI putting in some higher lows. That's good, right? So that's something to keep an eye on there as well. Karma, what's up, buddy? Yeah, let's do some Tron. Who doesn't like a little TRX? Tron's been really taking a beating, hasn't it? You know, Tron people, they love this coin. They're true believers. Where are we here? ST, there we are, TRX. TRX. So we talked about this one last night. We retrace. Oh yeah, holding the 786, right? There we are. This is the whole story here. You hold here or else Tron, right? You bullishly hold 786. We start putting in 587 Satoshi. We break this. We start moving higher. That's your bull scenario here. This is still remains our must hold area here. If we break 786, we could do a full retracement back to the 300s area here. Our daily still shows bearish stochastics. Still shows bearish RSI where we're still under 30 on the daily and cannot get above. So not only is there bearish momentum, there's no money flow coming in this one yet. So we'll keep an eye on Tron. All right, guys, been doing this about an hour or so. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I want to just do a quick ending on Bitcoin. Actually, we didn't do Litecoin yet, did we? Let's do some Litecoin. Oh, you know what? It's funny we have that up there. I'm going to start with this is our RSI daily resistance line, resistance line, resistance line, right? Love that. Okay, so bull case for Litecoin. If we can get back up here and break this resistance, all right, then we're talking about Litecoin bullish expansion, right? No doubt, right? This is our channel. This is our bull channel that Litecoin is going up. A bull break, and we go up here and we break this line here, okay? That's bullish expansion. But we are not there yet, right? And we are also hitting resistance here, here, here. So a lot of history here in this resistance line here. That is very noticeable. So this is rejection until broken and proven otherwise. And we can even reference our LTC BTC, right? Where this is our LTC BTC ratio. This is buying LTC direct with Bitcoin. Just continued bearish divergence, right? Bitcoin's pops or LTC's demise. Now this trend's resistance, we've fallen pretty low under it. I do like to test this line here one more time, okay? So that's your bullish case, where if we can bottom, this is the next line here, bullishly, you want to test from a divergence to Bitcoin. But right now we're not seeing that. And our price, again, are we finding a resistance line here? I can't remember. No? Oh yeah, right there. Right there. So we didn't even get to this resistance, this historic resistance. What about log scale, right? Always got to keep that log scale in mind. Let's go up here. Yeah, log scale even puts even a much more bullish scenario in play on Litecoin. Yeah, here's our resistance, here's our resistance, here's our bull break, and fail, fail, fail. Yeah, that's close enough. Look at that, that's close enough. We had a rejection. I'd call that close enough. We had a rejection right at our trend line there. Come on, there we go. Look at that. Look at that. Huh? That's why you use log scale, people. Okay? Don't just use linear. Go to a wider time frame and use log. And you clearly see that this line of resistance that we broke bullish fail to hold, again resistance, again resistance, again resistance. So this is your resistance line. This is your line that defines Litecoin's bullish or bearish intentions. Until this line is broken officially, Litecoin is still in a bearish downtrend, and that could bring us, look how low this line technically could go. 74, 64, 54, right? So this is the line. This is the line determines a Litecoin breakout or continued Litecoin bearish sentiment. We'll end on Bitcoin. We'll call it a night. Once again, guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. 54 of my closest friends. Let's see here. Is Bitcoin retracing? Oh, what? You're telling me it faked out? Come on. Whoa. What? You're telling me we couldn't close above our line here? Come on. This is consistent, people. Look at this. Let's zoom in here, get a little closer. Look at that. Hourly broke bullish, closed above. Love that, right? So we'll start foam warming in. Now we're down. Now we're only a half hour into this hourly candle. This is a mega important candle here. If we can close above again, this red line here, 74.55, okay, can put our 7,500 next target in play. This is important here. Our volume is poopers, right? This is terrible. It's not terrible, but it's not bull volume. I mean, it's just not bull volume here, right? So we're still in a little uptrend here. So the bulls are not out of capitulation yet. Remember, we were even talking about a small Elliott wave here as well, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Just a wick, right? Remember, just a wick can go into our wave 1 in a leverage market, which this is. And 5, that's not bad. I can count 5 waves there, right? In the hourly, can't you? So this could be a top here of this move here. Again, until we can break through this just overall sideways pattern, until we can break out of our little bear channel here amongst our larger bull channel, which we can see a little better there on our 4-hour, right? Then nothing's happening. And overall, this middle channel support has been holding pretty strong. We break that, we're looking clearly 68, 69, 7. You know, we break through our bottom channel here on our bear flag, or on our bull flag, but our bear channel, right? 71.90. So there's still lots of supports in the 7,000s to hold, okay? The volume is suspect. We still have a bull cross here, but we have a slow tick right here of our blue wave, okay? Very early stages of a failure here of this little push. But until proven otherwise, the bulls still have control, right? The bulls still have control until really we break out of this overall bull channel. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this broadcast, please give me a thumbs up. Thank you for your continued support on Twitter. I really appreciate the feedback I get from my tweets and any questions you guys have. I'm also working on a mentoring program that I'm going to announce probably sometime next week. Maybe when I can break 20,000 followers on Twitter. I'm so close. Look at that, 19.3. I can't believe it. I'm truly humbled by your followings. Remember, guys, Bitcoin's a heartbeat. All you need to do is trade the pulse. Until next time, good night.